Hi there, Sandra here from the Schwowin's Nest. Today I am participating in the April Look for Less challenge. It's a monthly challenge hosted by Yami, the Latina next door. If you have not seen Yami's channel, please go check it out. She does some amazing things. Her co-host this month is Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. Courtney has an amazing craft room and she does all sorts of wonderful DIYs as well. The concept for this challenge is to find a home decor item that you would like to have, but is way over your price range. Check this out, $224 for a topiary tree. I don't think so. I picked up this round styrofoam ball at my local Dollarama store, and it was $3.50. It's about 10 inches in diameter, I believe. What I need to do with it is poke a hole through the center for my dowel, which is essentially going to become the trunk of the tree. What I'm using to poke the hole is the inside of a rolling pin. So I've had some of these rolling pins from the dollar store for a while, and I just unscrewed it and used this to just jam right into the center, and it popped out the other end, and I was able to just make the hole quite a bit bigger so the dowel would fit through. I have these leftover greenery leaves from flowers that I just use the florals for and not the greenery. I always keep the leaves, and I'm just going to use some hot glue and cover the styrofoam ball completely. So far, I've spent $3.50 on this project. I'm now going to start taking some of these topiary balls and cutting them apart. I'm going to leave that net or that form. I'm just going to cut them in pieces and then hot glue it onto the leaves. I had these topiary balls from a garden party that I hosted a couple of years ago for my son. It was after his wedding. And so I could probably get away with saying that I didn't spend anything extra on this. I had these in my stash, but if you wanted to count them, they would be $12 because I used 4 and they were $3 each. I think I'm going to say that they were part of my stash and they didn't really cost me anything specific to this project. Now that I've got the ball completely covered, it's actually looking really cool. I'm going to go ahead and push the dowel all the way through to the other side. So with the larger topiary ball done and ready to go, I need to add his little partner for the top. So this topiary ball came from IKEA. I have also had this probably for at least 3 years, maybe. I bought quite a few of them. I don't get to IKEA very often because it's about an hour's drive from my house. So when I do go there, I tend to buy up a whole bunch of things at the same time. So what I'm doing is just trimming out some of the plastic because I need somewhere to fit the dowel in. I ended up trying with scissors and then my craft knife, and of course I had to just go and use my snips. That's what I should have used in the first place to get this job done a little bit quicker. This part proved to be a little bit tricky. I did put some hot glue on the end of the dowel, but I didn't end up putting enough on. I thought that would be enough just to hold it in place. I had to add a little bit more hot glue once it was in there, and I actually had to then just stand there for almost 5 minutes and hold the topiary ball in place until the hot glue was dry. I've had this little accordion style garden trellis since last year. In the summer, I think I purchased it at the dollar store and it was $2.50. And I have been using these pieces of wood all over the place. Some of my Christmas projects, some of my fall projects. Anyhow, they're just held together by these little nails. So it is a little bit of a struggle to get them apart without breaking them. But what I'm going to do is start hot gluing them onto the dowel and make it look like the trunk of a tree. I'm using the longer ones underneath the large topiary ball, and then I'll use some of the smaller ones in between the two towards the top. And hot glue with this was a little tricky, but I just had to hold everything in place until it dried. Some of these branches or these sticks aren't 100% straight. They were a little bent, so I had to just take my time and make sure it was done right. I purposely left some gaps in between because I wanted to use all of the long sticks and then just fill in some of the gaps with the shorter sticks and some of the pieces. And I did end up trimming them to make them fit. For the pot, I decided to use this old galvanized bucket that came from our cottage. There's a whole bunch of them there. And this one had a nice little brick down in the bottom of it. And I thought it was perfect because it has a hole down the center, exactly the same size as the tree, and it will fit in there just perfect. It was a little wobbly, so I knew I needed to have some extra support in there. I wasn't going to use hot glue because I didn't think that any type of glue would work really well. With things being the way they are, I wasn't able to go out and get some stones or some filler, so I'm using newspaper. And I'm going to go ahead and crumple up some newspaper and just fill it up as much as I can. And then I've found these two other small little cement blocks that I'm going to use to support the tree itself. Next, I did need something that I could put on the top so you wouldn't be able to see just newspaper and these concrete blocks. So I took my craft paper, I've got a huge roll of it, and I started to crumple that up and put it in just to kind of mimic, I guess, some sand, or just to give it a little bit of more natural texture. The final step was just to camouflage the craft paper a little bit, and I had just enough Spanish moss or green moss left over, so I just kind of broke it up and scattered it along, and it just kind of fell into some of the grooves, and it actually turned out pretty good. Once I'm able to get out to the stores again, though, I will probably replace the moss, or I might just grab some stones and put some stones on top just to hold all the paper in place. Here they are together. The Wayfair one is on the left, and that one was $224. Mine is on the right, and it cost me $4. I'd like to thank Yami and Courtney for hosting this month. If you enjoyed my video, please like, comment, and share. Hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell to get notified when I upload new content. Thanks for watching.